3661 in Valencia with Tanya Green, and more people have joined our private tasting. No one knows this happening. The gentleman on my left happens to be Tanya's Cakebread rep. It just happened somehow to walk through the door.
It is my normal time.
And was lucky enough to get the brand new Pinot, right?
Yeah.
So what? I want to hear about this Pinot Noir that I have in my glass. I love the color.
So this is this gorgeous Pinot Noir. It comes from our vineyards up in Anderson Valley. So Cakebread Cellars, we started trying to make Pinot back in the early 90s. It has taken us a long time, so this is really just coming out in the market now. So anybody who thinks the wine business is a quick way to make a small fortune, you go back to the old saying, you know how you make a small fortune in the wine business is you start with a real big one. So we've been working on Pinot Noir since 1994 with varying degrees of success. We kept it all at the winery because we weren't happy with it. Now we've got this vineyard that we planted. We bought an old apple orchard in 1999 up in Anderson Valley. Planted it to 7 different clones of Pinot Noir. It's just drop dead gorgeous Pinot.
I read you've been planning this for 20 years or something, right?
Well, we've been working on it for 20 years.
Okay. And this is your first release?
No, this is like the 3rd release, but it's been sporadic. And so the problem is, in 2007 was going to be the first national release of this. We're all excited, right? We've been working on this forever. And then once, 2008 in Mendocino, Anderson Valley, they had huge forest fires up there. There was a dry front that came through, lightning front, lit Northern California on fire in the summer of 2008. So we ended up with smoke taint.
Yes.
And after much back and forth, we decided that we didn't want to release it, so we sold it off. You probably bought it. You bought it as something, Smoky Dog or whatever. It was nice. It was nice wine, but it wasn't what we were trying to make, and we were very concerned about its ageability. We like to make wines that age well, so we skipped the 08. And so if you were going to write introduction of a new wine, you would say, oh, let's introduce it 1 year, and then skip a vintage, and then start again. So it's not exactly well known yet, but
I understand this is a pretty low production item.
It's going to get a little bit bigger. We like it so much. Okay. We added another vineyard last summer,
wow.
And so it'll be coming up. Not, it won't be huge, but it should be more available.
What I like about this, immediately on tasting it, and Tanya probably knows more on this than that because she tastes a lot of wine here at the wine bar, but it doesn't have what taste or drink. Yeah, taste or drink, whatever you want. Pinot Days, and we go to every year. I see Tanya there every year. But 1 year, I want to say 2 years ago, everything was felt like 14% and higher alcohol. Maybe probably all the wine was 16%. And it was like all of a sudden Pinot Noir became a Zinfandel or some crazy thing it wasn't supposed to be. This tastes like it's supposed to taste. It's balanced. The fruit, the cherry fruit's balanced, the all that. But are you gonna lie? You're gonna tell me it's got 60%? It's fine.
No, Pinot Noir. The challenge with it has been is lots of people try to make them big.
Yeah, why?
And Pinot Noir should not be a big wine. You should be able to see through it. It should be lighter in color. It's supposed to go with, it has a different flavor profile, so it should go with lighter foods. I would not have this with a ribeye steak as much as I love ribeye steak, as much as I love Pinot Noir. It's not meant for that. It's meant for salmon. Bruce loves grilled salmon with it. I like it with pork chops and all sorts of lighter foods, and it's supposed to be a lighter wine. If it's dark, that means they probably blended in a little bit of Syrah, which is a crime against nature as far as
it's
I'm
like
concerned.
it doesn't really make any sense to me.
It's no longer Pinot Noir.
It should be nice. It's supposed to be elegant. It's not supposed to be heavy.
Yeah, the color on this one is fantastic.
If it's not too dark, you can see through it. That's what you want.
Well, while we're doing this and we're getting ready in the party mode, we get to wine number 12 here. I don't know. You have a wine club called the Good Life, and I got a little excited looking at that because you do all kinds of things. Well, there's things, of course, I wouldn't do. Fly fishing, skiing, and pruning classes, golfing, sailing, and NASCAR racing. But there were cooking classes and other fun things. You do a lot of stuff. I've never even heard of a wine club like this. What kind of anarchy are you causing?
Years ago, Bruce and I figured out the way that we really enjoy wine is when you go do something. And so the most you think about, Randy, when you think about when you enjoy the wine the most, it's not probably when you're sitting around swirling, sniffing, tasting, taking notes about it. It's when you go out and do something with your friends during the day and then come back and over dinner or over lunch you recount the day's activities. And to me that's the most fun thing. So years ago we started doing, adventures. And so we were sitting there reflecting one day and decided that this is the good life. And so that's why we call it the Good Life series. And so we've gone to, we try and mix it up, not do the same thing too often. There's some favorites that we go back to all the time, but we've gone skiing. Bruce just took the club up to Whistler, north of Vancouver.
And we can't drink while we're doing the adventure. It's after when we're
Probably.
talking about
Well, they're
it.
doing it before and after,
I mean,
so it kind of covers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually I got
they
Yukon
did a lot
Jack
of
in my
fun.
Boda bag, but whatever.
We
Works
like
on
to do it
that ski
after.
list.
Then everybody can walk home. Gone skiing and with NASCAR races. We over the years we went to Newport, Rhode Island, and chartered 4 former America's Cup yachts. So if you like to sail, this was the one for you, because then we raced them. So we had our own Cakebread Brothers regatta racing.
To Day on the Bay with the Blue Angels coming through on San Francisco Bay, and it's just stunning because everyone has take their iPhone and they've got all these little dots up in their pictures, but it's just a beautiful day. Have a nice lunch and go out and watch the jets fly by.
So we try to do educational things, and so we'll have a pruning day, a blending day each year in the fall. We'll have what we call Taste of the Vintage. So everybody will taste all the brand new wines out of barrels to taste them. So it's a mixture of
The middle of the night harvest. Can we do that?
No one has ever volunteered for that.
Well, you have to tell them about your morning hike.
Well, that's not the
The bar's closed at 2, so if you start at like 2:05 in the vineyard, it might work out.
We do a morning sunrise hike up on Dancing Bear. So it turns out it kind of
but there is a bear.
wine. So we go up to this beautiful ranch that's up on Hell Mountain and hike out. And so what we're trying to do is get up there in time. We do it midsummer so that the fog comes in every night. And so to get up before the sun comes up, we hike about 1.5 miles out to a meadow. It's east of our ranch, and stand out there in this great photo opportunity. There's a big orange K where you're supposed to stand in this Kodak photo spot. And so the sun pops up.
He's joking. He's joking.
I buy whatever he says.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. So the sun,
like,
what
oh,
happens
really?
is sun pops up. It's very dry humor. Sun pops up.
Some more wine
pops up
there,
the
Dennis.
fog, and then it turns out it illuminates this vineyard, and that's why everybody stands there and takes a picture. It's an even longer story how we figured out where to go and what in the world we were doing up there at first light, trying to take this picture. But so every third year or so we'll lead a group, because we need all new people to do it. Because we get up at 4:30, have them meet us at the winery at 4:30 in the morning, pile in vans. At the winery we serve coffee and bear claws. Here's the theme.
I get it.
Oh, I like it.
And then we hike out there, everybody takes a picture, we come back, we have a nice cabin up here, we have protein. This is the most amazing thing. Have this big protein-laden breakfast, sausage, bacon, steak, eggs, and drink Cabernet at about 7:30 in the morning, and everybody loves it.
You start at 4:30.
Because they're hungry and they've been hiking
Yeah.
and stuff, and they've gotten up so early. And then, so I think everybody takes naps at about
I was going to say,
10 o'clock.
I was
you
going to say,
pull
what
out the
happens at
cots.
noon?
Yeah, it's a 10 o'clock nap.
Take a little siesta and you start all over again, just like I do in Italy.
But what we try and do is we enjoy the wines, and so they're great wines, but we try and do the things that are fun and memorable also. And to me, it's a great way to enjoy it.
Oh, well, that's cool. I have a question for the cameraman, Eddie Bushman, my husband. So, club, my next wine club.
Oh, for sure.
I need that, yeah.
Hey, I just took a.
Is that when you see the camera go, no, yes.
So thank you.
I have things like, what do you think, if you could narrow down to one thing that you guys have accomplished, what would it be? Making really great wine, I guess, would be it, right? Or killing that bear, or not killing
we
the
didn't
bear.
kill the bear.
It's
We're
another
not gonna shoot
story.
the bear we named the vineyard after.
Right.
I would say being successful for 40 years. It's a tough thing. When you
Absolutely.
add up the experience that we had Bruce and mine, Julianne at 26, Brian Lee at 20, Julianne at 27, Brian Lee at 26, Brian Streeter 25 years, Toby 9. We have 150 years.
Because other
of
brothers in the wine
experience.
industry don't actually work at the same winery that have been in there.
We have a
doing this
rule:
long.
no blood, no foul.
Yeah. It's best out of 3. But also, I think is working with all the people at the winery. We have 70 employees, got 70 families, and they're all really passionate about it. When they show up to work, they're passionate about it, and that's what makes fun about just go into the winery every day. We're working with the people that we get to work with, and so that's special.
It's family.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's family.
How about being a household name for most of those years? That's a pretty
right,
big
Tanya.
deal.
Yeah.
That's
quite-
relatively strange. I don't know that we're used to that.
Yes, you are. You're a household name at
You're like
1661.
famous. You're famous in the
Well,
wine
in
business.
a small Eddie Warhol 15-minute kind of thing. But
40 years isn't 15 minutes.
But what is fun is all the stories that we hear
Yes.
from people as they discover their wines. What's your favorite story?
So, my son and I were skiing up at Sugar Bowl, somewhere in Cakebread Brothers because they get them for free. And so I'm sitting there, and the lady across the table doesn't know me from Adam, but just goes, "My husband proposed to me over that Chardonnay." She goes like, "Really?" So it wasn't like that Chardonnay, it was that Chardonnay. And she's like, "Oh." It's like, "You're still married?" It's like, "Oh, we've been married for like 15 years now." It's like, "Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Bruce Cakebread." And so it's,
Oh,
you
I
have
see
that
the
kid.
shock.
That was that weak moment that she got through maybe half the way to the bottle. But you have people kind of really remember the wines, and so that's kind of what makes you keep going, wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's like, we're doing everything we can to kind of meet everyone's
So
expectations.
Eve, since you're our social media expert, we're just launching a program on our Facebook site, very creatively named Facebook/Cakebread Sellers. To go post your story, post your Cakebread story.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a great
So
idea.
it's just gonna, kick off in the next week or so.
Okay.
But what's fun, and so we
Edit this before that.
get all these emails, and so my favorite one is this guy was telling the story. He said, "I've been asking this girl out. I asked her out 8 times for dinner before she finally agreed to go out to dinner with me. We got for dinner, and she orders a salad. And I gave her the menu back, and I said, 'You're not ordering any just damn salad. This is dinner. I've asked you out 8 times. I'm excited to be here. We're going to have dinner. So order up.' And so the gal goes, 'Well, I have a bottle of Cakebread, and then I'll have the Cakebread Cabernet, and I'll have the ribeye.' And he goes, I fell in love with her right there. He says, anybody who would order up like that, that's pretty good. And he concludes this little story by saying, and this is our 10th anniversary. You go, I love, so when you talk about the household name, I don't know if you did that part, but I love those stories of how we get to,
Go.
I got my
There we
hat.
go.
Wait, you had this in the car? Are you telling me you didn't know this was happening today? What?
No, I've had it in my trunk for a while.
Oh,
Let's
so apparently. Oh, of course. See, my brain is too
Yeah,
big
you gotta give the cameraman
for the
one for
hat.
the hat.
He'll get, or he'll get mine.
Yeah,
Do we have more wine to drink?